And good morning on Thursday, May 11th. It's episode 226 of the 359 podcast. I'm BVG, and in the house with me today, I've got Joan Solsman and Alfred Ing. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Doing great.
Thanks for joining us today.
All right, what are we talking about on the show today?
Well, if you've paid attention to any financial news yesterday, very exciting. Snapchat finally released their first ever quarterly earnings, and things are not looking good for them. They lost $2.2 billion. Now, a lot of that is like stock payout options, but $750 million out of that went straight to their CEO. So we'll be talking about what's going on at Snapchat. And then Joan was at the Tribeca Film Festival, and she checked out this really cool VR program that was where they touch you. So that's awesome.
Not inappropriately.
And there's a proposed DHS ban. Basically, their electronics ban that they had for 8 Middle Eastern countries, but they're now proposing it for some parts of flights coming from Europe. So if you have a laptop and you're planning on taking a flight somewhere to or from Europe to the US, maybe think twice about that.
All right, everybody, hang out. We're going to cover these in detail over the next 3 minutes and 59 seconds, and then we'll come back and hang out with y'all in the chat. So feel free to submit questions, comments. Let's do this week closeout right. And here we go in 3, 2...
Welcome to the 359. I'm Alfred Ing.
I'm Joan Solsman.
So Snapchat released its first ever quarterly earnings report yesterday, and it turns out the emperor has no clothes. Before it went public, Snapchat was always really secretive about its finances and projects, so it went public with a crazy amount of hype, and Wednesday was the first day that we really got to see how the company runs. So they lost $2.2 billion, that's billion, the majority of which was in stock payout. And the thing that stood out to me the most was how poorly the spectacles sold. Do you remember the spectacles? So with they sold about $12.5 million totals worth of these like camera sunglasses. And if you look at it, $130 a pop, that means that basically like less than 0.05% of Snapchat users actually own spectacles.
That's not so great for a company that bills itself as a camera company.
Yeah, when they released it, they're like, oh, we're a camera company now, except less than 1% of our users are actually own our cameras. Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems like it was part of their marketing strategy to make it rare at first, but now it's just like, okay, well, now no one has it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then CEO Evan Spiegel also said he wasn't afraid of Facebook despite Instagram copying Snapchat and, in my mind, doing it better. He said it was focused on making more creative products, like adding more filters, people being able to draw on it, more of those options. Do you really think that these puppy filters are going to be able to save the company?
Well, I think that the network effect has a big influence on. It's easy to compare Instagram and how quickly stories increased to Snapchat and how many people are using their stories. But Instagram is coming off of the benefit of having just lots and lots, millions and millions and millions more users to begin with. So if a small segment of them start using that feature, which they already know is pretty cool because Snapchat, people like it, then a lot of people are going to use it. But do you think that people are defecting from Snapchat to use Instagram? I don't think so.
I mean, I do.
Well, you do. Yeah, maybe.
So, Joan, you were at the Tribeca Film Festival and you saw a lot of virtual reality that had a real nice touch to it. Get it? Because you saw the Tribeca immersive program where they used more than just the headset for the experience. They had somebody come and hug you, or they had a landscape while it was happening in VR. This sounds a lot like those 4D movie theaters where the seats shake when something crazy happens.
Right.
So what did you think of it?
It's cool. It's definitely something that makes more sense for a festival setting or a museum setting or a theater setting than it would be for home. It's not something you can, you can't send an actor or actress into your home to be there with a motion capture suit and give you a hug at the right moment. But it's a great way to kind of drum up some interest in what VR can do if you're experimental with it. And it works well in a festival setting.
So were you expecting the touch to happen when you tried it out?
Scott Stein, our colleague Scott Stein, he was the one that did that one. We kind of divvied out who would do which things because there were so many experiences to do. And in that one, the idea is that this person in a motion capture suit, you see a virtual version of them. And so when she reaches out to hold your hand and you reach out to hold her hand, you actually touch her hand. Same as they have built their room so that there's a door where in the virtual room, there's also doors. When you reach out for the knob, it's actually there.
I mean, that's kind of cool. I don't see that like scaling like you were saying. Like I see this more in like museums and things like that.
Yeah, it's a cool way to drum up interest in VR and to see what you can do if you think about it a little outside the box.
And finally, there's reports that the Department of Homeland Security is looking to extend its onboard electronics ban from 8 Middle Eastern countries to several parts of Europe. So the original plan was to block devices larger than your phone from being carried on flights. So like laptops, tablets, DSLR cameras, which stemmed originally from an alleged bombing plot that with an iPad. So, air travel is like probably going to be really annoying this year.
Between all the different kinds of things you can and cannot bring and the places you can and cannot go or return from, yeah.
Yep. Also, just a quick shout out to our team covering the Microsoft Build Developers Conference. It's day 2 of their keynote, so be sure to check us out on CNET for more on that. As always, thanks for listening. I'm Alfred.
I'm Joan Solsman.
And let's jump right into the chat. Danny Green, our loyal, tried and true Danny Green, he says, really, who wants to wear camera glasses all the time or even half the time? And Alfred, I'm going to defect to you to that one.
I feel really stupid for buying a pair now. I was one of the few people that bought a pair, and I'm part of the 0.05% now.
It was a fun novelty for half a second.
I can't believe I spent $130 on that.
Was it your money or company money?
It was my money.
Oh, you fool.
Well, I look at it now and it just collects dust on my desk. That's why I said dusk. But, and I'm like, I really should have just sold this on eBay. Because the day that I bought it, it was selling for like $1,000 on eBay. I was like, this will probably go up in value. So I'll just... Oh, God. I mean, I thought that it would be really cool. Like when I got it, I was like riding my bike. I was like skateboarding. I was like cooking, like doing it on like spectacles. And then
your phone died.
Yes, that was the problem. That like I did a podcast wearing the spectacles. You remember that one?
Yeah.
But the problem is that it kills your battery life. It doesn't matter what phone you're using because it's transferring video over Bluetooth from like the glasses into your phone. And Snapchat already like takes up like a crazy amount of your phone's battery life. So like I could send like 4 or 5 videos and then I look at my phone, I was like, oh cool, I'm on like 25% after like 30 minutes.
Yep. Just think about it. In maybe like 20 years or so, you'll be able to donate those to an electronics museum.
Probably not. I'll be
in the great failure section.
Oh God. Yeah, but like when it first came out, everyone was saying like, oh, this is gonna succeed where like Google Glasses failed, or Google Glass, sorry. Where they managed to make like the camera glasses look cool, which they did. But like I feel like it was like a lot of technical faults at it here which to be fair, like that's what Snapchat is like focusing on right now. They spent about $80 million on research and design. Now granted, a lot of that went to researching and designing how to make a better Android app, but I mean I see a lot of potential for them to make this better and like refine it. Again though, I feel really stupid for having that.
All right, so expanding on this, Matthew Datcher asks or states, no one could really get spectacles. And then he asks, has that changed or is Snapchat pulling a Nintendo on us?
No. Well, yeah, it has changed because like I think around like January or like February, they basically...
I think it was in January.
Yeah, they made it available on their website where anybody can buy it. But the thing is that they did not do a really good job of letting people know that. So it's available on their website now, but because of their original marketing campaign which everyone knew about, where basically, we like parachuted this vending machine in like the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Right. Go find it, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then like now it's like it's available, guys. Please buy this, like kind of thing. So it completely backfired on them, I think.
As Imagine Sagi points out, by the time they were available, no one cared anymore.
That's true. The hype cycle was over.
That was the other thing too. Like the reason why like people really wanted one was because it wasn't like that available. The prices on eBay like really started going down once they opened up their New York City like store, where it was like open like every day for like 3 weeks, like pretty much from like the middle of December until like New Year's Day. I was very annoyed by that too, where so I was there the first day and I waited like 6 hours in line for that for a story, but then I just bought one for myself anyway. And then I went back, like I was around the area like 3 weeks later or so, because like something related to Trump Towers and the tech summit that was there. But it was like the Snapchat store is like 2 blocks away. So I walked past it and there's like no line. It's completely empty.
Yeah.
But it was open. So anyone could just walk in and buy one. And I just thought like,
You fool.
I waited 6 hours in the cold for this guy.
And there are better glasses camera situations
Yes.
out there. You find them all over Amazon and eBay.
But they're not connected to Snapchat.
So imagine Sagi wants to know, as far as the faults go, if the battery life did improve, like if it stopped murdering your phone battery life, would you come back?
I would use it more often, but I still think there's like a cultural
Has it lapsed its novelty?
What do you mean?
Is it fun anymore?
I mean, I still think it's fun. Like, I like using it. My friend had like a really cool thing where like he just put it on like the dashboard of his car, and then like he just pressed it. Like it was like a short term like dash cam kind of thing. Like
Sure.
he didn't use it officially as one, but like it was
You
a
can
way.
do that with a GoPro too.
It was a way of like snapping without like drive, like, you know, getting your attention off like driving or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it with a GoPro, but the thing is like it doesn't go directly to Snapchat. That might be the issue too. That like no one's using like Snapchat as often as they used to.
So let's speculate on spectacles. Do we think that there are possibly other hardware type situations that Snapchat could get like foray into that would possibly work better than these Bluetooth glasses?
Definitely GoPro. Like if they were smart, they would just allow like third-party cameras to be able to
Bluetooth in.
Yeah, to Bluetooth into Snapchat, but they're like so insular with it where it's like, no, only our glasses can do this.
Snapchat is a lifestyle. It's a fashion statement.
I'm pretty sure that's what their ad was when they came out with it.
Joan, I'd like to hear you expand on this incredibly uncomfortable sounding virtual reality situation. Just out of my own morbid curiosity, because I don't like being hugged.
So that's one experience. So that one was called Draw Me Close. Scott Stein did that one, but I know enough about it that I can kind of give you a rough idea. The premise of it is it was done by a theater company, a Canadian theater company. And the premise is the playwright / director, it kind of chronicles, not chronicles, but it's like vignettes, like not literal feeling, but like emotional vignettes, given that his mom had a cancer diagnosis. And so it's kind of like diving into his memories of his mother. So you're in this room and the virtual thing that you see in the headset mirrors the physical objects in the room. So if you bend down and you touch the carpet, you can feel carpet underneath you. There's a bed in the corner. If you walk over to the bed, you can sit down in it. The mom can tuck you into the bed. And at the end of it, she reaches out and she gives you a hug. So I think that your heebie-jeebies are not going to be, I don't know if the virtual element of it is going to give you more heebie-jeebies or less if you already don't like getting hugged.
My jimmies are less rustled after hearing this, but I don't know.
What it's like to be stabbed in virtual reality.
Well, it kind of reminds me.
Real knife.
I for Christmas this year, I got my mother this gift. It was, I can't remember if it was a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe project, but it was this lamp, and it's not virtual reality, but it's I kind of see parallels in the sentiment. And it's literally a lamp that's just connected to your Wi-Fi, and it's this kind of little decorative table, glowy lamp thing. And she touches it. There's two of them. You get them in a pair, and then you can actually extend that into a network of I don't know how many. I think it's like up to 26 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
And so this lamp sitting at her desk at her home, and I got one sitting in my desk in my home. And you know, she says, "I'm thinking of." She touches a lamp, and mine lights up. And then I come over and I touch it, and it changes color, and it'll reflect back and tell her like I'm thinking of you too, kind of thing.
Aww.
They have that for sex toys. I don't want to ruin the sentimental moment here, but
right.
Moving on. We're just about out of time, but to talk about this problematic travel situation, our boy Danny Green says, if I can't take my DSLR, then I'm not going. Pictures is my thing when I travel, always looking for interesting things to take pictures of.
You can take all of these technologies with you. It's not saying that you can't bring it on your flight. You can't bring it on board. You can like still like pack it in like you can still check it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But most people won't trust their precious electronics in the cargo bay. I know for a fact. I mean, even when we did our CNET annual trip to CES, I did not want to put my laptop in tow.
My tablet cracked on a flight to Nashville that I had like a few weeks ago, but it was like a small like hairline crack. So I was like, whatever. But yeah,
but
it's frustrating.
That's something to think about. Are they going to force you to start checking portable devices, things that are meant to be kept on your person, like a tablet? Like the whole idea is like, I'm bringing this on the flight and I'm going to watch movies the whole time. Oh wait,
my loophole, I feel, is that they should just start making phones like way bigger because their policy right now is they can't be bigger than a phone. So if they just make a phone like like this big, then
That's so
I'm getting a call. Hold on, it's my flip phone.
that's so bizarre though. I mean, how many people try to work on the plane?
I mean, I don't know. I don't fly that much, but I'd imagine a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
There's tons of people who have to commute for their job, jet sitting all over the place, and they have to get something done while they're in the air. They can't be stagnant.
Mm-hmm. Well, most of the times they'd probably be traveling like within the U.S. for that, though. Like, this is,
Still,
like,
that can still be a
international travel.
significant flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds really sour to me. How much is this developed? How much do we know of what's coming and
The
when?
rumors were that they were going to announce it today, but the DHS has like commented on the record that they would be like announcing something within like the next few weeks, and they're still planning it. So,
More to come.
it's all up in the air. Yeah.
Ugh.
Up in the air. That's 3 puns on this show. Yes.
Perfect place to wrap it up for the week. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Take us home, Alfred.
If you liked what you heard, check us out on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, SoundCloud, FeedBurner, Google Play Music, and of course, CNET.com. Also, be sure to get something for your parents or remember Mother's Day this weekend. So.
Yes, good shout out.
Not a sex toy.
No, don't do that.
Get a lamp. Not a sex toy.
Have a good weekend, everybody.